Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. About a year ago, the WP Manage Ninja team released FluentCommunity. It's a plugin that lets you host discussion areas and provision simple courses. It's become very popular because previous solutions were either very clunky, very resource intensive, and/or they were very expensive. So FluentCommunity solved the problems and filled that gap in the ecosystem. Now, a year later, they've done it again. They're launching a new e-commerce plugin for WordPress called FluentCart. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to set up the flows for onboarding users and for selling access to premium content in your FluentCommunity. Now, to demo how to set up the onboarding, I have a test site here. This is using the free Cadence theme. We want to set up the flow for free users. We want to set up the flow for premium content. And I've used Cadence blocks to create this homepage. If we go look at the plugins, here's FluentCommunity Free and Pro, and Cadence blocks and WP Vivid, which I'm using to reset the site between testing cycles. As I mentioned, we've got the Cadence theme. If we look here, one of the things if you have a membership site is this has to be checked before users can register for your site. Now on FluentCommunity, I've set up a bare bones community here. We have two free discussion areas, and we have a free course, and then we have a premium discussion area and a premium course. If we go and look at the settings here, the portal access is only logged in users. Okay, so that's the first gateway, is users have to be logged in order to access the portal. They have to have an account on the site. Then for the free spaces and courses, I set the access to be public, so anyone who can access the portal can see and access the free areas. And then for the premium areas, I set the access there to be private. Okay, and what this means is that by some means or another, site members are going to need to be added in order to access the premium course and premium discussion group. And I did do a couple of videos on FluentCommunity when it first came out. So I'm not going to do a step-by-step here of how to set up the community. Now let's go and add FluentAuth. And as I mentioned, it does have some features for a membership site, which I think are very nice. Now, I did do a recent video on FluentAuth, so if you want to really drill down on it, you can check that video out. It's pretty straightforward, and what I'm going to show in this video are mainly the things that are the features that I think make it nice for a membership site. It does have these security features. For this video, I'm just going to turn them on. There's login security to limit brute force attacks. Okay, now here are the first features for membership site that I think are nice that aren't as part of default WordPress. There's a magic login, which is that the user enters their email address or their username, and an email is sent to their email account with a link to log in. Very nice for membership sites, because one of the headaches that you have as a site admin is for people who forgot their password. So this lets them get in. I'm going to make that the kind of default or primary method. And then two-factor authentication. I suggest that you enable this for the administrator accounts on your site. I'm not going to do it here just for speed's sake, but when you have a lot of users, you want to protect the two-factor authentication as just another layer of protection. Then this is the second feature that's good for membership sites. Then this is kind of optional. If you want to be notified when a user logs in, you can set that up by role. So you might want to do that especially in the beginning. If you want to check with users, make sure they're not having any issues. You can send a digest summary. And here is the third feature that I think is really nice for a membership site, and that is you can disable the admin bar. No reason why users need to be poking around the admin. Some WordPress plugins and themes aren't very good at filtering their menu items to only show for the appropriate roles. So this is another good feature for a membership site. Let's jump over to login redirects, and you can set up a default one, but I'd like to set it up for people who are subscribers. That's what members who join the site are going to get, is a subscriber status. We'll redirect them when they log in to the portal. Okay, and when they log out, we'll send them to the home page. So we'll save that. Then here you can customize the login sign-up forms. You can create a separate page for a lot of the steps like registration or login. You do that if you want to have a lot of information maybe on that page. You can enable social login with Facebook or Google or GitHub. Or you can customize the login screens to make them look nicer. And already this is nicer than the default. Let's add our logo. Okay, and you can add some text in here. We'll add our logo here also. And we'll save those changes. And we'll go back. And then the next feature, which I think is nice for membership sites, is that you can edit the emails that your users are going to get. You can edit the default template. You can also edit the individual emails, like the new user registration notification. So this is a feature that you'll probably want to use. Now, there's one more feature of FluentAuth, which I want to show you. And to show you that, let's open up the site in another browser. This is Firefox. My version here has got that kind of colorful header there, so you can tell it apart from the other browser. What we want to do is we want to add a button here so people can sign up for free. So let's go to the home page and let's edit it, and then let's add a button, join for free, and then under the URL we will add the link for registration page. Okay, and save that. Let's go back to Firefox now and see if that works. Oh, wait. Remember, we have to go to settings and enable this so users can register. All right, now to Firefox, and we'll see if someone can join. Great. Now they have the registration screen. So let's sign Pippa up. All right. And this is the last feature of FluentAuth I wanted to show you. With FluentAuth, when a new user signs up, they have to have an email verification by entering a code that's sent to the email address they used when they registered. I'm using my local machine, MAMP Pro, and it comes with MailHog, which is an email catcher. Here is the email that was just sent to Pippa. I'm going to copy that code and let's paste it in. And the redirect works. When they're logged in, they go right to the community portal. Awesome. So Pippa is in. We've got a regular user in. What happens when they go and try to take a course? It tells them it's private and they have to be invited. So next step, now that we have the free flow set up, let's do the premium membership using FluentCart. Let's go back to our admin screens here. Let's go to plugins. I'm going to install the Pro version of FluentCart because it will install the free version, I think, for us automatically. So I'll activate that. And here we are now. We have FluentCart Pro. When we go to the FluentCart screen, it tells us now to install the free one. So there is a welcome wizard here, so let's go ahead and do that. And we'll use this logo. Then we'll continue. And if you have the pages already created, then you can pick pages from the drop down, or you can create them individually here, or you can click the button to generate all pages. This is probably familiar if you've used WooCommerce, where it'll give you pages for like your cart and your receipt and things like that. So let's go ahead and generate all pages and then continue. And then we can use some demo data they've got, or we can start from scratch. So we'll do that. All right. I'll go ahead and enter the license key here. Now let's go back to store settings. So we're in test mode. So you want to set it to live mode. When you go live, you can put in the store address, set your currency, and set your payment view. This is probably how your credit card and PayPal options show. We've done the pages set up. Let's go to product page. So we can show relevant in a single page. You can enable image zooming, have variations, have how you want your products laid out. I'll just go for one column. So we'll save that. We can go to cart and checkout. We'll kind of be getting into this, of course, as we test some orders. We'll tweak the way the cart looks, but we do want a user account creation automatically. If you want to use coupons, you can do that. I'm not going to use coupons, so we can hide the coupon field. Then you can set the starting number for receipts and invoices. Then the checkout fields, I appreciate this. This is a digital product, so we don't need the shipping information, do we? And then I don't think that the address is required for fraud detection. I'll leave country and state and city and postal code on. city and state may not be needed. I think it might just be country and postal code, but we'll leave that on for fraud detection. You can check what your payment processor recommends. Okay, we'll save that. So those are the store settings. Let's go to payment settings. There's Stripe and PayPal, Paddle, which this is a beta, cash on delivery, manual payment, and then these are payment processors that they're planning that are in the works. I don't want to really go ahead and set up accounts for this test store, so I'm going to use the manual payment. We'll enable that. Then invoice and packing. This is the template for the invoice and packing slip. Okay, so you can customize all that. There are webhooks for the programmers and power users, which is nice for integrations. You can set up your tax options, whether your prices are include tax or exclude tax, how to base your calculation, price suffix, EU VAT settings. Okay, then there are global integrations. So FluentCommunity is the only one we have. The other one they have here at launch is the Fluent CRM, their email marketing, user contact management platform. We'll set this up in a minute when we set up the product. Email configuration. So from David, and then David at example.com. These are optional. You can use these magic tags here to customize the emails, okay, that you create. Notifications, you can set up emails to the admin and to the customers for different activities that happened. Roles and permissions for your store. Storage options. Shipping options. We're doing digital products, so we don't need shipping zones or classes. You have options for product listing, stock management, order bumps, and then we looked at the license entry already. Okay, now let's go and let's create our first product. And our product will be called Premium Membership. So we can give it a description, get access to master courses and other premium content. All right. And our price, let's make it $45 on sale from $99. You have the option for product variations. You have the option for subscriptions. You can calculate your profit and cost. You can copy the link for direct checkout. You can have downloadable assets. Okay, let's add a category. And let's add a product image. It makes sense to limit this to one item per order. Let's update here. And there's upgrade paths, integrations. Yes. So let's add an integration. Fluent CRM. If we click this, I think it'll prompt us to install this. This is their email marketing and customer relationship management plugin. If you're using some other email marketing solution, you may not want to use this, but you can add some automations through Fluent CRM, somewhat similar to what we're doing here. But we want the integration for FluentCommunity. We'll call this Premium Membership. And remember, when we were looking at the community and the premium spaces and courses, we said that because they were marked as private, somehow users were going to need to be added to those spaces and courses, and that's how we do it here. So we want to add them to the masterclass discussion space and the masterclass course. You have the options on the integrations to remove from spaces or courses. Since they're paying, we'll mark their profile as verified, and we'll remove from the selected courses or spaces on refund or subscription access expiration. I tested the refund and that works fine. They are removed from the course and the discussion space. Then the event trigger, we want to use order payment. You have other options here, though, that you can set some automations on. Order related, subscription related, and shipping related. And then for selected variations only, that doesn't apply to us. So we'll create that. Okay, and let's go back to the product and let's set this as published. All right, now let's go back to the front end. Let's tweak our menu a little bit for users. Make that a little easier. Let's add a shop and an account page. You can add a receipt or cart or checkout. I don't think we'll need these because I think there's a cart button built in. But if we do, we can add them. Okay, let's go to the front end, to shop. We can edit the page here because it's got a few extra things we can simplify. Oh, wait, our image is not showing. Let's open this in another tab. Did I forget under products to add an image? Oh yeah. Either I didn't add it or I didn't save after it. Okay, now let's refresh and see if we see that image. Yeah, okay. Let's go now and simplify this page a little bit. We don't need the view switcher because we've only got one product. And we don't need a product search here because we just have one product. So we'll save that. And let's go view the page. Okay, so that's good. We'll copy the URL. And on the home page, let's do like we did for the free membership, but this time let's add a button for the premium membership and we'll send them to the shop page. Okay. I'll paste in that URL to the shop page and save. Then let's go back to the home page. So let's see, one thing we can do here also before we test is let's go to the community portal, well, to the settings, and to the spaces and groups. And for the premium groups, let's edit those and let's redirect the user to the shop page. if they don't already have access. So to encourage them to buy, we'll do the same thing here. We'll save. All right, let's go now to Firefox. Let's refresh the page. We're logged in as Pippa. Here's our button to get premium access. Before we try that, let's go to the community area. Okay, and let's try going to the premium course. All right, great. And from our home page, I think this should work the same way. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's purchase. Let's check out. Select our country. And our state. And our town. And our zip. Okay, and we've got that manual cash order option, so I'm going to place that order. And we're pending payment. All right, let's go back and let's go to our cart and look at the orders. To FluentCart and look at the orders. We have one order here from Pippa, but it's pending. And so let's go and collect payment and mark it as paid. All right. So that's done. Let's go back as Pippa. I'm going to refresh and purchase successful. Great. Take a look at the account page. There's our order information. There's our purchase history. We don't have any downloads. There's the profile page. Okay, and logout option. All right, moment of truth. Did the user get added to the premium areas? Oh, yes. They can see the premium question and answer area, and they can see the premium course. So it all worked great. That's fantastic. All right, let's see. One more thing we can look at here. Let's see if there were any more emails. New sales. Purchase receipt. Okay, here's Pippa's purchase receipt. Okay. And here is the email to the admin saying there was a sale. Yes, let's party. I love it. Okay, so those are the emails then. This didn't really come into play for our scenario here, but if we go back to FluentCart, a couple of things I can show you. We looked in the orders area, right? Customer area, product area where we created our product. There's some reports. You see they have different ones here. Here's where you would see information about subscriptions. And then under more, you can create coupons. There's some logs which are useful if you need to troubleshoot something. You can sort what you've collected for taxes and mark taxes as being paid. So this is an area here for keeping track of the tax payment to the government. All right, we've done the walkthrough, how to set up the site and the user onboarding. Now for some discussion and conclusions. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, about a year ago, the WP Managed Ninja team released FluentCommunity. It's been very successful, and the reason why is because previous solutions were clunky. they were resource intensive, and or they were expensive. Now, a year later, they're doing it again with FluentCart. As you know, the main e-commerce solution for WordPress is currently WooCommerce. And WooCommerce has the exact same problems. It's clunky to set up. You have to string together a bunch of different plugins. WooCommerce is very resource intensive. It takes a real beefy server, and you have to optimize the heck out of it. And it tends to be costly. The add-ons for WooCommerce tend to be expensive subscriptions. So again, the WP Managed Ninja team is delivering a solution which solves the problem that site builders and entrepreneurs are facing. Now, there's something very different about FluentCart than other version 1 plugins. Right, FluentCart just launched, it's brand new, but it's not like all the others. We're used to new plugins being launched, maybe with a lifetime deal to get attention and to get early adopters to provide feedback to the developers so they can actually get to a version 1. But FluentCart already is full-featured. The WP Managed Ninja team is using it on their websites to sell their plugins. Yes, there's a roadmap with more payment processors and more features to add, but at launch, FluentCart is very different than other version 1 plugins. Because it's so full-featured and because of the reputation of the team behind it, I think that FluentCart is going to quickly become a go-to e-commerce plugin. Now, you saw that the creation of the store, the setup of the product, and even the integration were all very straightforward and logical. Realistically, if I wasn't making the video and trying to explain what I was doing as I went along, I could have done the whole thing in less than 15 minutes. That's FluentCart. It's a new e-commerce plugin from the WP Managed Ninja team. I encourage you to check it out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.